Hello, XC-Basic community. My name is Hardy, and today I want to show you the beta version of the XC-Basic library for the WiC64 module. You can develop client-server applications with this library, and today I want to show you some examples. First of all, what's the WiC64 module? You see it here on the screen. This is the official WiC64 website. You can find it in with wic64.com, wic64.net. And here you find software and links to shops where you can buy this module, or you can download all plans to do it on your own, to solder it on your own. It is made of common parts. So okay, what is this module? It is not an modem, an Wi-Fi modem, because they are very slow. This is how can I call it? An internet card for the Commodore 64, which uses full speed of the Commodore 64. So you can download, large data amounts in very short time. Okay, so we are focused now on the development environment we need. The WiC64 emulator is also able to emulate this WiC64 module, so we can use this emulator for our tests and development. Yeah, okay, let's have a look. We see here is the WiC emulator. I will start it up now. And then we have to do some settings to activate the WiC64 module in background. Therefore, you go to Preferences, then Settings, and here Peripheral settings. And here you can choose user port devices because the WiC64 module is a user port device, so your expansion port is free for other devices. Okay, user port device is here none, and we choose the user port WiC64 module. So I think you can let the standard settings here, and we can close this window now. So now the module is activated in background. So first test is you can download the launcher program to get into the WiC64 portal from our website. And when you start it, you can log in the portal if you want. This is the first test. If you don't have a user, you can create a user for free. It will take 2 minutes to have a user, and then you can use the full portal for free. So there are online games, chat and communications, file area, internet, setup and config. I think there are a lot of videos online in YouTube what shows the WiC64 portal, and this video is not about the portal, so I think we can close it now. Okay, exit. So we want to lock our communication over the WiC64 module to the server. So we have to open it in the command line prompt. I will close now this WiC emulator and then open the command line. I'm very lazy, so I don't want to type here the path of the WiC emulator. So I will grab it from the settings. So I will do it into my clipboard and then open the WiC emulator in the command line. So we have two windows now. One is the WiC, one is the command line. And here you will show up later on all logging of the communication between the server and the WiC64 module. Okay, let's make it small. So the library comes with a few examples. Not all commands of the WiC64 module are implemented yet, but I think it is a good start. You can communicate with servers with HTTP post and HTTP get, and there are a few other examples I want to show you now. So when we open the library here, we see it is divided into three folders. The first folder are the program files, pre-compiled files we will use later on. Then here is a folder for server applications. Some examples need a backend on the server. It is written in PHP, but we will see every example then when we use it. And here are the XC basic sources. You can see there are a lot of examples, 7, and here is the WiC64 library you need for all those examples. Okay, my favorite environment to program XC Basic is the Visual Studio Code. You can download it for free, and there is a very good extension existing for XC Basic programmers. And this is about highlighting from commands and so on. I will show you now. And we will begin with the first example, the Hello World example. Every programming language and every programming example will start with Hello World. And in our case, we don't want Hello World on the screen by our own. We want to see Hello World from a server. We connect to a server and the server will answer with Hello World. This is the first example. And as you see, there is not a lot of code. I will explain it later. First, I want to show you the back side of this example. So we go to the server applications and then we see hello world.php. I will open up and the server will answer with hello C64, here a message from wic64.net. And it will translate this message into screen code of the Commodore 64 so that we can print it directly on the screen without any conversion or something like this. Okay, I will close this, and then we see what happened. In every example, there is an explanation of the parameters you need. And at the moment, there is only one command here, is the WiC is a function of the WiC64 library you can use. And we see here we include this library. It is mandatory to include this before you can use this WiC command. And we see here we activate the lowercase screen codes here. And then we need two variables. First is the URL we want to connect to. And the second is the received bytes. So here will be stored how many bytes we have received. So yeah, we can see here, I will connect to x.wic64.net and here the hello world example is existing, so you can use it also if you want. And we now we now call this function here, and this function has a few parameters and we will have a look now what parameters. So the first parameter is 1 byte. It is command. In this example, it is command 1 HTTP load. And the second command the second parameter is a word. This is the position of the URL string in memory. So it is at URL in this case. XCBasic will store here the information where is the URL started. And then length of the URL. So we say len and then URL string. And the fifth of this parameters is start address of data to send. So we want to send nothing here in this case. We only call this program here, this little PHP program. And so we keep it null or 0. And then the length of the data we want to say, okay, we don't want to send anything, so it is also 0. We will later see examples where we use these parameters. And the target is where we want to receive the data. So this is here the screen area, a line of the screen area starting of some line of the screen area. So I don't know what line exactly at the moment, but we will see later on when we start this. So how we can test it? We will go to the precompiled examples. I will open the first one. I will drop it into the emulator. So, and then we see it starts and it says, hello C64, here a message from WiC64.net. So it has connected to the server and got an answer. And we can now see how this worked in our logging. So let's see, maybe I can make it a little bit bigger here. So we see, first is we send something over the WiC64 module, in this case emulated module, http x.wic64.net hello world php. And then it replies success, and then we got an answer from this server. And here the answer, you can see it is hello 64 and so on. So the PHP has answered to our Commodore 64. So it is easy to transmit data to a server. What we will see it later on. Here you see we can call a server and it will send us an answer. Okay, perfect. This is example number 1. I think we will open now example number 2, and not the program examples. We need the sources here, and this is firmware. So in this case, there are some commands, some WiC64 commands, where is no internet connection needed, or where we can see, yeah, how is the status of this module or something like this. And here we see we call the same WiC64 command, but now we set 0 as a command here first time. It says, okay, firmware string. And then, okay, the other parameters are not needed, and only the parameter where this received data should be stored is needed. And this is also the same address we saw in the example before, and it will write it on a line on the screen. So yeah, we can start this if you want. Let's have a try. Program files, and then we go to firmware, get firmware version. And we see here now, okay, it's version 2.0.0. And this is the emulator version. When you use the yeah, the real module, then you will see it will be another version here. But here you can ask the module, okay, what version you are, and maybe there are some new commands available or not, or when your program uses commands that are not yeah, in the older versions existing, so you can throw an error and can say, okay, hey, please update your device in this case. Okay. Okay, let's have a look at the next example. I will close this and we will have a look at the example number 3, get IP address. Oh, it's the program file. Sorry for that. So we go to sources, get IP address. I will throw it here into the editor. And you see here, email address is only yeah, the command number 6, and we also don't need any parameters here accepting the target parameter where we will receive the data later on. Okay, so yeah, maybe we can here, okay, it's precompiled. Okay, we will see now the IP address of the module. Go back, go to the program files, number 3, open the emulator, and then we will see this is my yeah, IP address at the moment. So this was the IP address example. Now we came to HTTP data post. This is very interesting because you can send a lot of data to the server then, and yeah, the server can do anything with your data later on. So we will see now. So we can see here in the logging, there is no connection to the internet. Only it gets the command, and so it yeah, writes back the actual IP address. Okay, let's go back to example number 4. Sources, example number 4. So okay, example screen data to a server, first 200 bytes of the screen with HTTP post. Server will answer with the same data and program will store it into another area of the screen. So yeah, I expand this example a little bit because it will not only give the same data back, it will invert the data and show it in inverted version on the screen later on. So parameters, here are a lot of parameters needed. As we saw before, there's the first is the command, and here is the command 40, HTTP load with data append. Then the position of the URL string in memory, as we saw before, the length of the URL, then the start address of the data we want to send. This is very important for this example. The length of the data we want to send also, and the target where we want to receive the data. So you see 40, then here the URL address, then the length of the URL, and then we see, okay, starting from 0400, and C8 means 200 bytes and 200 bytes, and then we want to get it here on the screen on another location. Okay, so this is the example. Now I will start this and we will see how the example works. Program, we get here number 5. Oh no, number 4. Okay, so we'll start number 4. And we see Commodore 64, 200 bytes up to here, I think it is, and then it will be go to the server, and the answer is inverted here, so it shows Commodore 64 on the screen. Yeah, I think this is a good example. Okay, so let's see what happened on the module side. Yeah, it calls an PHP on our server, data echo, and it sends then all data to the server from our screen. And the answer is then the inverted yeah, screen code. We send it to the server. So you see communication with a lot of data, binary data is possible here, and you can send every data you want to the server. Okay, so let's have a look at example number 5. Oh, no, I want to close it. Example number 5, we go to the sources. Okay. Oh, get WiC portal username. Okay, so this example is a little bit different from the other examples because it sends the name of your user when you have a user in the WiC64 portal. Most of WiC64 module owners have there an user, and when you want to produce games and use the username of this user, then you can read this username from our server if you want. So, and here are 2 PHPs. You can use one of them for the get the name of the user in screen code, and you can use one of those to see the yeah, in ASCII code here. The username will be transmitted in ASCII code. Depends on what you want to program afterwards. So I use here, for example, those 2 PHP applications and run it, and so we will see the result later on the screen. So I logged in before in the portal, or I can do it now if we want. So let's have a look. Here is the emulator, and I start the launcher program you can download from the website, from the WiC64 module website. And we see here, okay, I'm currently logged in. I will go back. So here you see welcome Lazy Jones. So I'm logged in. So I don't have to log out now because then I don't get this name. You get only this name, this username if you are logged in, not when you are logged out. So let's see what happens. Reset the machine. I will start this example number 5. Program files number 5. So, and then we will see whether it will show my name. Yes, so you see here I called this program and it says Lazy Jones. This is my username and this is the username in ASCII code, but it isn't very nice here. Okay, let's have a look. What is the communication here? It says x.wic64 GOS PHP, so this is the username and screen code, and it will receive here in screen code the data. And here you see when it runs the GON PAP, then it will get it in ASCII code, so you will see it here in this command line a little bit better. Okay, but it depends on what you want to use later on in your program. So let's have a look. Example number 6, direct memory example. Okay, this is very interesting, I think. So let's have a look here, sources, and then we want to go to our environment here. Okay, so this we close this example and we get example number 6. So direct memory insert example. How can I explain? So the library is able to direct into specific memory areas. So when you open a stream, what is built like this. It is the first 2 bytes have to say okay the target address. The second 2 bytes have to say the length of the coming data, and then here are the bytes what you want to do in a specific memory position. So, and you can in a stream you can repeat this a lot of times. So you can say, okay, first I want to fill the screen. Then I say target address 0400 and length is 1000 bytes. And so I fill the first area of the memory screen with the coming data now. So then in the stream, the next 2 bytes say, okay, the color area here, the screen color area, and want to fill the color area then. And then 1000 bytes coming for the colors of the screen and so on. And you can, load in specific memory areas and use it later on. You can also load code or something like this or sprites or in any target you want to load it. So this example shows how a stream is loaded. And we see here parameters are command number 1, then the position of the URL, you know this, then 00, and the second one, we don't want to give a specific target here, so it is FFFF, and it says to the library that it is a direct input or a direct memory input file or stream, so it should see on its own where to store the data. So then you wait for a key. So I will show you this example. I uploaded a screen and colors of the screen and so on, and background and foreground color, and all will be loaded in the right memory positions then. Okay, when you see here on server, here is the stream file, but yeah, you can't see anything when you open it, so it's a little bit different to explain here. When I go to the program files and I open example number 6, then you see here it is directly loaded. This file is directly loaded all information to the right memory areas here. This example shows the direct memory insert function. The loaded stream is built like this. I said it before, 2 bytes target address, 2 bytes length of coming data for this package now, and then the database bytes in length as described before. This structure can be repeated as often as desired. In this example, the following data has to be transmitted: background color, forecaller, screen text, and character color. So you see all is in the right area. All times have been loaded in different memory areas. Okay, so this is the example number 6. Okay, last example, load a file from the internet via HTTP. So you see how fast it is. There is a lot of room for improvement in the speed, in the transmission speed. Um, so we, yeah, how can I say it? We have an ASM, an assembler library. This is much more faster than the XCBasic library. And I think I'm not the perfect XCBasic programmer. And I think if someone has a look on this library, he can improve the speed a lot. So maybe if there is someone out there who has the chance and time to do it, feel free to enhance the library, and yeah, it would be great for me if you would do this. Okay, last example, load a file via HTTP from the internet. I will show you now. Um, First, the source code. It is a little bit more source code than the other examples. Okay, so let's have a look here. Good. We start with no basic loader, but then we want to store this program in C00 because it has to load from 0801 up to a higher memory area, a program which should be run afterwards. Yeah, the rest you know here. Here's print loading, so we call a file straight up. It is a game, a small game for the Commodore 64, very good game. Um, yeah, you see here the parameters we used. Also, we say here target address is 0. Um, Target address received data should be stored. So when it is 0, the WiC64 library will have a look into this file and interpret the first coming bytes as the start address. So like it is in every program. And then it will load it, in this case, to 0801. So, and here is a small ASM program to undo the basic, because XCBasic unfortunately destroys a lot of bytes from the 0 page, what are used for basic, for the normal 64 basic version 2. And so we have to restore a little bit stuff here to have the listing correctly afterwards and the program runs correct afterwards. If it is a basic program, for example, in this case it is no basic program, but it has 3 lines of basic code, yeah, to start it, and sorry, and yeah, we want to see the listing in a good, yeah, not a good mood, in a good, I'm missing a word here. Yeah, we want to see the basic listing without any errors. So, okay, let's open this example. I think we can go to program files, then we get number 7. We will start this. So now we say new, and then started with this command. That is the C000 area here. And then it will be say loading and download the file from the internet. So it is now stored in 0801. When I type list, we will see, okay, 3 line of basic code, and once starts the game, we type run. So we see this game is running here. We downloaded it now from the internet. So, okay, this was the last example. Yeah, if you want to contact me, then I would say write an email. No, write an email to hardy at ulendal.de. So this is my email address. Oh no, that's not. Okay, yeah, emulator. So not emulator, editor. So hardy at ulendal.de if you want to contact me, and yeah, if you want to say something or you have comments, feel free to contact me. Have a nice day. Hopefully it was a little bit of interest for you, and goodbye.